Welcome back to the Winning Point Podcast, episode 4. This is actually a very exciting episode because we have actual games to talk about. I am your host, Rex, with my brother Tony and our producer, Paul. We had a slew of unbelievable games, and football's back, baby. Very exciting.
Yep.
You know, the highs, the lows, the excitement, the disappointment. We felt it all on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. It was unbelievable.
Yep.
Loved it.
That's right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So what did you enjoy most outside of Colts Ravens this week for the first weekend of football?
Man, there were some really good games, especially the 1 o'clock games. They were very close, down to the wire. We had games like, the Jets Steelers. That was crazy. Which one? The Falcons Bucks was another good one. Man. There was a couple of nail biters that went all the way. When you think a team has the game wrapped,
Boy, don't we know about that.
We'll get to that. But yes,
we'll get to that. But
it's been awesome inaugural week. Yeah,
oh yeah. Some of the things that I enjoyed from this first week was on the Friday game. You know how kids, when they find out they find out loophole to like cussing, like saying things like "what the frick" and things like that, and they know they can't get that backhand anymore. So Dicker the kicker, Cameron Dicker the kicker for the Chargers.
San Diego.
I had Dicker the kicker so many times. I was like, you guys know what you're doing. But it was just fun hearing the commentators come back. Brady's so much better now in season 2 than he was in season 1.
Yeah.
I love that guy because he works hard at things he's not good at and gets better. You gotta respect it. Southpaw Penix in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
He looks the real deal.
Unbelievable. He is something to behold.
He looks the real deal.
The irony, I know the irony of this statement, but the Dolphins are drowning. And I worry about that. The Giants, I think Jackson Dart will be starting by week 4. If not sooner.
Might be this week, from what I'm hearing, but we'll see.
And like you said with the Steelers, the heavyweight champ, I told you that
you
boy's not done.
You did call it.
That boy's not done.
My fear was the line.
Which is still a problem because he got hit a few times. He got sacked 4 times.
His first
he
snap
was fighting. He was fighting for his life at times, but he still stood in there. Oh, he definitely did an ice bath and all types of massages and oils after.
But to your point, he was balling.
He was balling. He gave it all his all. So now we have like 3 of the top 5-6 quarterbacks in the AFC North. That's gonna be tough. And then like 6 of the top 10 in the AFC in general. AFC is gonna be very exciting this year. I look forward to it. And with that said, let's get into some game action. So now that we have games, we came up with this segment I call BWS. Better, worse, or the same. And this is about how you feel about your team after watching their game. So BWS scale, how do you feel about the Colts after week 1?
Much better. It was one of the most dominant performances this week.
Just to interject, first Colts week 1 win
since 2013.
Thank you.
It's been a while.
Very
we broke
important.
the curse on the day of honoring Jim Irsay. Rest in peace to the owner. Special man, especially to the Indianapolis community. I just found out this week in his will, apparently he left money on the side for his staff, like the janitors and all that, and then left them tickets for their family.
He was always a sweet man.
Yeah.
Always
very
good
thoughtful.
Man.
So
very much
rest in peace to him, and I hope he was smiling on that week 1 win.
Definitely. He sprinkled a little heavenly sauce on you guys because you guys were
we're in rare form. Mid-season form,
man.
They looked good. We definitely served them like Alcaraz at the U.S. Open. Advantage Indy. So, but it was a complete game. Offense, defense, special teams did pretty well for the most part. Daniel Jones was very effective, efficient. Spread the ball around on a game that our run offense wasn't like the greatest. It was just okay. And I'd come in thinking piggybacking off the run offense would be his bread and butter, but he did well even with a subpar run offense. But I think what this was a testament to who Shane Steichen really is.
Absolutely.
And I think this is why he really dialed back and picked this guy, because I think we have forgotten who he actually was coming in, like the magician of a play caller, looking, discovering mismatches and stuff. And I think you saw that watching this game. Like, he always dialed up the right play.
Yeah.
And he's very aggressive. And once he gets into a rhythm, it just continues. He's almost like a quarterback, but from a coaching, play calling standpoint. So I think that complemented a lot of Daniel Jones's play. There were some moments where, like,
old daddy kind of came back a little bit.
So what was that? But I think it was like one or two. Fortunately for him, they weren't intercepted. So, but for the most part, he was amazing. Lots of catch. And dude, Tyler Warren.
First pass, first catch.
He's going to be a problem.
100%.
He's going to be a problem.
But we knew that.
Yeah. And they even kind of dialed back on some of his play. Like the first 3 drives, they couldn't stop him.
Oh yeah.
Like he was.
Yeah.
And you can see like he has really good ball IQ. Like knows where to be, position his body, where to go after the catch. His blocking acumen is pretty good. So
he went 7 for 76.
Yes, exactly.
That's over a first down every catch. That's how you move it.
And then
that's how you move an offense.
Almost robbed off a touchdown. There was like a pass interference that they didn't call, but it was the dude tackled him before the ball got there. But
he's like that. He's definitely like that.
Very defensively impressive. Too. The defense was also very dominant. Lou Anarumo, the mad scientist or whatever they call him.
The new defensive coordinator that they lost hope in him in Cincinnati because last season was bad. A lot of people said it was the players, but some people said it was the D coordinator, and now he's proven that it might have been the players.
Yeah. So they're coming in, a lot of people said the reason why they had such a down year was they lacked talent. Cincinnati last year. So with the new helm of talent that he has in Indianapolis, he would thrive. And game 1, he definitely did. Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback of Miami, was confused the whole game.
He looked
the whole
lost.
Game. It was bad.
That was disturbing.
Even our new safety, Cam Bynum.
He had a QBR of 2.7 and a quarterback rating of 51.7.
Yeah, it was bad.
Rookies don't have that.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. Like he looked.
Rookies in preseason don't have that.
Yeah, and apparently this is what they've looked like all preseason, and people like kind of swept it under the rug saying it was just preseason, but it's carried into the season.
He threw 14 times for 114 yards.
Yeah.
But he completed 14 out of 23.
23. Yep.
Jeez.
Yep. He was under duress.
Let me give this a little context. 2 years ago, I'm not gonna say his last name because
Tagovailoa.
Tua led the league in passing yards. Tua was a Pro Bowl, not an alternate. He was a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Starter.
So Tua is not. He wasn't a starter. But
Mahomes.
Tua is not just some run of the mill quarterback. He's decent enough. Most people consider him a top 10 to top 12 quarterback. So that's context for how good the Colts defense was.
Yeah, it was beautiful to watch. We are not accustomed to that many coverage disguises and different blitzes and coverages, because in the past we've had like our coordinators like Matt Eberflus and I forget the other guy that used to be the coach of the Jaguars last year that got fired. Neither here nor there, but they're very vanilla. Eberflus was a bit better because he had like his personnel suited his style, so it worked. But our defense for the most part was very vanilla, keep everything in front of you. Here and there would blitz, but this was more exotic. I'm not familiar with seeing this in Indianapolis, so that was great to see. I know Cam Bynum, our recent free agent acquisition from the Vikings safety, number 0, he said the interception that he caught, like he saw the pass more as a unsure pass. So like he at that point, Tua was a bit flustered. So like that was what made that interception a lot easier for him.
The confidence.
The confidence.
Throw with confidence.
Yeah, he could see, he could tell like at that point the confidence was shut.
That is unbelievable. Cam Bynum, he came through with his end zone dances for you. That's what he's known for.
Dude, I was like, where is this from? So I got the context later. I don't even know. It's from some show or something like
Probably.
that. Yeah.
But he's known for his
that's that. So they like
dances after
the defense was excited for him to have that from him. So
that's awesome.
First, hopefully of many.
Before you carry on, I want to extend my apologies to Daniel Jones because I laughed at him last week when you said you made him a captain, but he moved like a captain. Respect.
I
give it. I eat my words.
You know what? I also have to apologize to because I was pessimistic. But I did have, going into last week, I said he has a chance just based on the vibe I got from the locker room. The locker room seems to be very much behind him and very confident in him. So shout out to last week. I was talking about Ferraris and whatever, but this week it's
so now it's a Ferrari with a Mercedes-Benz engine.
Yes, because
as of now,
German engineering, and I'm saying German engineering because Shane Steichen, I'm pretty sure his name is German. So German engineering, Danny Daimler.
Yo, you guys did the damn thing.
They call him Indiana Jones. So. Home games, Indiana Jones, and the Temple of Ursay. So
all right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes in week 1.
Next week,
caveat though, the Dolphins didn't.
They were bad. They were really bad. So next week we'll have a better idea. We play the Broncos. So
okay,
we'll see.
All right, we'll talk about that later. Was there any outstanding African player in this game?
Yeah, Samson Ebukam.
Okay,
he was very much effective in pass rush, and he had a sack early in the game. So he stood out, number 52.
No, 52.
Nigerian
he had a sack?
player. Yeah, he had a sack.
Impressive.
Yeah. So he's coming back from a torn Achilles. So this is a good.
This is year 1 of a torn Achilles or year 2?
Year 1.
Year
so
1.
his first year
that's
back.
impressive.
Yeah,
Usually year 2 is when they really pop.
Yeah, exactly. But he looked good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's awesome. 1 tackle, 1 sack.
Hopefully he keeps it up. He was there, even though the stats are just pedestrian. He was always in the pressure. He was in the face of the quarterback. So it worked.
Right.
It worked. Yeah. And shout out to Layatu Latu. He caught a pick. He caught an interception. D-end. Rookie. Second year D-end. First round pick last year. Number what is his number?
Latu he's 90 something.
Yeah, I just remember his college number, which was 15. But in the league, it's I'm not sure. 97. Yes. So they have high hopes for him this year. They think he's gonna step up tremendously.
So we can confidently say on the BWS scale, you're feeling a big better. You're feeling better about the Colts. After the first
and
week.
also looking at the rest of the division.
Right.
They look as well. I'll touch on that later when we go around the league. But it was a good start. They look very disciplined, which is those are the things I like to look for. No bonehead penalties. The penalties were more so just things that happen in the game.
It's also week 1. Penalties are, everybody's kind of still working through things.
Yeah.
So penalties are a little more understandable if they're not too many.
Execution was great. These are things I look for. The offensive line looked amazing. So, and there was some question marks on some of the new faces on the O-line.
Yeah, you did have you said there was a center competition and there was a right guard competition, I believe.
Yes, correct. So they both came. Matt Gongalves, which is the right guard. He played very well. The center was I just remember his school, but he was a rookie last year.
Yeah.
This year he did his thing. What is his name? Yeah, it's Tanner Bortolini.
Bortolini.
Yeah. So he's a first year starting because our former starter is now with the Vikings. So yeah.
Paul, is it just me or does Tony seem to have a different energy compared to the first 3 weeks of this podcast?
This is a different side of Tony on our
different side. It was a complete game. So I was rather impressed. The
vibes are pure. You're feeling good.
But we'll see. Next week we'll have a better idea of where we are because of the defense that we played, top tier defense. So we'll see.
Awesome. So Tony's feeling good about the Colts. He's excited for next week.
Danny Daimler,
he's bought in. He's sold now. He's feeling good.
Whoa, calm down. But Danny Daimler, not sold
for now.
He's not a Ferrari. He's a Benz.
Leaning towards buying.
We'll figure out what class Benz he is.
Leasing with an option to buy.
Leasing with an option to buy. There we go.
I like that.
Leasing with an option to buy.
All right. So we're gonna get into the Ravens.
Yes.
And just to make it clear, on the BWS scale of better, worse, or the same of how I feel about them, I do feel better about them at the end of the day. But before we get into that, Paul was behind the bench during his work on Sunday, and I'd like Paul to just kind of give us a little, inside scoop of how the energy felt behind the bench, going back into enemy territory, considering how our season ended last year, and then these fans were rockers. They just got the MVP quarterback. The energy is buzzing. How did it feel for the Ravens
First-person experience.
Yes.
I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
The energy was incredible. You're a player, you're a coach, you hear all the hype. Right. You know your team's good. You know the Bills are good. This is where the season ended. So everyone was ready to go, man. It was just electric.
Yeah.
And the offense had a great first 3.5 quarters. Right. So it's most of the game where they were just like
mid-season form.
Super excited, man. So the energy was everything you expected, So
yeah, I can imagine because you guys are like more or less kind of like rivals now because of like the playoff. You guys kind of always kind of see each other somehow. It's one of those. So it's starting to pick up into that kind of dynamic. Like Allen,
I will say we saw a new part of Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah. He was definitely more hype after his touchdowns.
Yeah, because all last year he'd score and it was all business. He'd go down and and like people be like, good job, man.
He was beating on his chest. He was hype.
He was laughing. He was smiling. He was joking. Like, I've never seen him like that.
I see.
But then just how things turned out, man. It was just that's what made it so crushing for me personally and for the whole team. Like,
I can imagine.
Everyone was so excited and happy, and it just like
wow.
So, with that said, I watched it at home on my couch. I had an invite from a friend to go watch it at the M&T Bank Stadium, the Ravens Stadium, because they have fan night when they're away games. It's like $13 a ticket, and I was gonna go, but I was like, I don't have a lot of luck when I go to the stadium to watch games. We almost always lose. So I was like, let me just stay on this couch and watch this game. And for the first 3.5 quarters, I was fine. I was feeling right at home. It was feeling good. We were doing it. But I never got fully comfortable because they were always two scores behind us. And I was like, this is Josh Allen. He's psycho. He's not going to let this game go. He's not going to quit. There's not going to be a point where they're going to pull him to the bench. That's what you do with an MVP in his first game. He is going to just keep banging and banging and banging. And Josh has never been scared of picks. He's never been scared of turnovers. They don't affect him negatively. So the fear was always there. And then it happened. The fumble happened, and he got the ball, and he scores. And then, every game, there's a little bit of luck here and there. And then his luck started to sprinkle in the fourth. His tight end tips a pass. That gets caught by Keon Coleman, number 0, in the end zone for a touchdown on a fourth down. And you're just like, what else is going to go? At that moment, you're like, okay, something's going to go bad here, because it always does for Baltimore in these situations. It starts to feel systemic. It starts to feel like there's an illness in the team where like something is there that just, no matter what is going, no matter how the game goes, they will somehow manage to lose it. But to be fair, and to be fair to the coaching staff as well, there have also been many, many games like that the Ravens have won. 2 examples from last season are our home and away games against Cincinnati. Cincinnati never stopped coming. They never stopped going. They led most of those games, both those games. They led a lot of those games, and we kept coming, and we ended up winning. But our secondary, which I was, speaking glowingly about a week ago, 5 first-rounders, this, that, everything, they let us down. Not all of them, to be fair. But as a unit, I don't think they did their job well enough. They can be better. And fans are starting to feel like they're losing hope. It's like, not again. Here we go again. And to make things worse, so yesterday during the coaches' Monday morning presser, one of the reporters asked him a question, and he goes, so when they're making decisions like, it was 4th and 3, should we go for it or should we punt? Are you part of that decision? And that is a very disrespectful question to ask a coach, because that is a coach's call.
Absolutely.
But that's where we are now. We're beginning to feel like, are you just a fan during the game? Are you part of the decision making? And I'm sure he is, and I know he is. But if you are, then how do you guys keep making the wrong decision? Because everybody at home was screaming, go for it on 4th, run the ball. To be fair, again, I watched the tape. Lamar got hit very hard on that 3rd and 10 he threw to DeAndre Hopkins for the 7 yards. That got us to 4th and 3rd. He got hit really bad, and he said that he was cramping. So that might have been why they decided to punt the ball. But it just feels like you have Derrick Henry. And
what was it, 4th and what?
4th and 3. In our own half.
Wild card.
With 3 touchdowns. 4th and 3 in our own half with 3 touchdowns. If they score, you might have time to go back and score. They can't stop your offense anyway. He's cramping. Can he hand it to Derrick Henry? These are all questions after the fact.
Even if he's cramping, Derrick Henry, he's had a few wild card runs and been successful with that short yardage. Go for it. Just go for it.
I would also say this. Something changed about how Derrick Henry was running in the 4th for some weird reason. I don't know if the Buffalo defense was starting to show a different front, but in the first 3 quarters, it's handoff and he's just breaking through the line and going. Yes. But then there was a hesitation step a few times, and I was like, what is Derrick Henry doing? Why is he like stopping and trying to find a hole? He's never had to try and find a hole. He's just burst through all game. So that was weird to me. So I don't know if something in the scheme had changed, but Ed Oliver, he made the Pro Bowl on Sunday.
The best lineman.
He made all the plays that saved their defense in some way or form. Ed Oliver was 91. Unbelievable. 91, Ed Oliver. Bills. He had the only sack they had. He had the TFLs they had. Yeah. He was unbelievable. Yeah. He hit Lamar. He like everything was Ed Oliver. He caused the fumble. Yeah. He did it all. Yeah. Yeah. The rest of the defense had no idea what was going on, especially with Lamar and Henry. And then when they tried to stack the box, Zay came alive. So what hurts me about these type of games are Zay Flowers had a record-setting day. Derrick Henry had a record-setting day. Lamar was as pinpoint as you can get. Yeah. His pass to DeAndre Hopkins for the touchdown was unbelievable. And somehow we still lost. And then you're like, what else do we need to do? How else do we get through this hump? So that's how I felt. Even though I would say, again, I did feel better because we were playing Josh Allen. You only play him once a year in the season, and then you get him again in the playoffs if you make it. So you have enough time to get yourself together and come back, regroup, and get it together. Jair Alexander, you need to wake up. You are a Pro Bowler, an All-Pro. You are a first-round pick. You are very talented. I know you didn't practice a lot because of your knee, but this is Baltimore, baby. We don't have time to – we play big games every week. Yeah. We play big games a lot. We're playing the heavy hitters, the big teams in the entire NFL this season. Like I said, we have a gauntlet coming. You need to wake up. Kyle Hamilton, still, I think he's a contender for defensive.
Is he okay?
He's fine.
He went and came. Okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He had a hand thing that they taped up. But he's a contender for defensive player of the year. I think he's unbelievable. He is. And, yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, so watching the game, I was trying to figure out what happened. I went through – I tried to compare the eye test to stats. In the game, obviously, it looked, like you said, the first 3 quarters, even early in the fourth, it looked like you guys were still dominating the game. But, like you said, they were never too far away. No. They were still fighting back. And you looked flawless on offense. Yes. And for them, they were fighting back, but it wasn't as seamless, right? Yeah. So I was trying to figure out, I was like, so during the game, I was like, who was it that stood out? I was like, James Cook. But then I look at James Cook's stats, running-wise.
He had one big run.
Yeah, running-wise, it
wasn't even a run, it was a pass.
Yeah, so most of his so what caught up my attention was, like, in the clutch, he would make a play. Yeah. But overall, his body of work wasn't, like, wowing. Right? Yeah. So then I looked throughout their team stats, and I was like, there it is. Like, they had 4 or 5 receivers that had at least 6 receptions that were over 40 to 50 yards. Yeah. And, like, that shows that he spread the ball well, and, the secondary wasn't able to keep up with who he was throwing the ball with. Outside of Keon Coleman, who was the guy, he had a really good game. He had a good game. The rest of them were good but not great. But it was more so on Allen than
100%. There was a tight end. I forget his name. If you pull up the
Kincaid
stats.
or Knox.
No, it was not. It wasn't Kincaid. It wasn't Knox. It was Hawes, Jackson Hawes, 85. Yeah. 85 had, apparently, if I remember correctly, this was his first NFL catch. So that's the mentality that Josh Allen had. He's like, if you're open, you're getting the ball. Yeah. If you run the route, you're getting the ball. He wasn't looking for guys. He was just looking for. So Josh Allen was playing prime Josh Allen football. He was running when he needed to run. He was passing when he needed to pass. And a bunch of our players also dropped interceptions. Chidobe Awuzie had one that he dropped. And Kyle Hamilton had one. He didn't drop it. The offensive player, the wide receiver, actually ran into him as he was about to catch. So it jarred it out pretty much. So outside of that, Josh Allen was on it. He was Josh Allen. He proved that, yes, 2024, he was the MVP. Lamar was a close second, but he was the MVP. He's the machine that makes the team move because they have no superstars on offense besides him. They really don't have superstars on defense either. So he's literally the only person carrying the team. And this was my concern, that if they get this frenzy of Josh Allen going and the crowd gets going into it, it's going to rattle the Ravens. And that's exactly what happened. So it still baffles me why they put the ball into the hands of the defense or the opportunity to win the game into the hands of the defense when Josh Allen had finally. And Josh Allen, he gets to this point in the game where he's locked in and he's just a machine. Yeah. And you can't stop him at that point. Yeah. Keep him on the sideline. Funny thing is, last week during the presses, the players talked about it, the coaches talked about it. We are not going to give Josh Allen a lot of opportunities. You give him enough to throw for 400 yards. You failed.
Yeah.
You gave him enough to throw for 400 yards. The defense couldn't stop. And our defense is not bad. Our secondary looked bad, I think our defense is not bad.
The Achilles heel of the game was the pass defense. Just because of how it played
again
out.
Because of Josh Allen, because he runs around. You got to keep him contained. You can't keep him contained with 3 D tackles and 1 pass rusher. You need more pass rush. But the fear was, if I have more pass rush, then and he escapes, he's going free. I think they were second guessing themselves a lot on the sideline with their personnel and the decision making, and it cost us this game because Josh Allen was coming and there was nothing to stop him.
Able to stop him.
So you got to keep him off the field.
Yeah,
that's it.
I got a question for you, Rex. So, why do you feel better about the Ravens? Because personally, I feel the same. Because I knew we were a good team and we got disappointed again.
No, I feel better about the Ravens because historically we start slow. And on Sunday, we did not start slow. That offense came out and was humming immediately. They were immediately, the Bills were like, oh, whoa, what is this? Immediately, right from the first play. So that's why I felt better about the offense. The defense, for 3 quarters, they did great. They did good enough to hold an MVP candidate. There are some players that you just can't stop, and they did well enough. The 4th quarter just broke apart.
My second question.
Yes.
And I think you touched on it when you were touching on the team. Was the intangible part, thing that you addressed as systemic. Yes. And I can relate to it because during our era with the Patriots, we had one of those where it's like, dude, what else has to go right? Because, you get there, it looks like you're about to do it, and then somehow Belichick and Brady overcome, and they're back to where they were last year, the Super Bowl champs. At this point in, the Ravens, where they are, do you think it is a culture thing from the top down, not necessarily from the management, but more so like coaching, that it is now kind of in the minds of the players where, like, when it's time to close, there's a kind of element of hesitance of not knowing how to get over the hump?
It's very possible. I would say this.
Are you concerned about that?
I'm a little concerned about that, but this is the thing. Our head coach is when he was a position coach, he was a special teams coach.
Yeah.
And a DB coach before that.
Yeah.
So he is not necessarily a defensive coach or an offensive coach, and sometimes that makes a difference because your hand and your fingerprints and your imprint is on that side of the ball if you are that person. So you know how to manage that side of the ball to make that difference. Andy Reid will never leave it to the defense to win the game. A coach like Pete Carroll will never leave it to the offense to win the game because they have their handprints and they know what they're doing. So they will like, for lack of a live or die with what they know and what they're good at. So that's even an example I even give is Bill Belichick. Remember the Super Bowl against the Seahawks. It was the defense that made the last stand. Like, there's just some coaches. So when you have a special teams coach and special teams can't really make the last stand, it's based on how he feels in that moment. He's going with who he thinks should make the last stand in there. And the problem is, it's hindsight 2020, but a lot of times it looks like he's choosing the wrong side to make that stand at any given moment. And it has hurt us many, many times. And this game, for example, the defense was done in the 4th. And then the interview yesterday, he goes, well, I have trust in my defense and I will put them in that position multiple times. And I was like, we're going 6-11. Like, I was just upset. But the defense is good. Again, compared to, we're not going to face a lot of teams like this. We're not going to face a lot of teams with a Josh Allen at this level. So I'm not too worried. We can still win 12, 13 games, but we have to face Josh Allen again.
That's the point. That's my point. So, like, you're not going to face them again, but once you're in the playoffs, you're going to face quarterbacks like him. And
run the ball. We have to let your MVP also shine. Let your MVP.
I think what I'm getting at is, what you're saying is absolutely right. But as a coach, there's a level of a learning curve that you have to kind of establish after a while.
It's 18 years, man.
Otherwise, exactly.
The curve been curved.
That's what I'm saying. But no, but like he hasn't been in this position where like he's been knocking at the door for several years. But after a while, you have to be able to get over the hump or get your players over the hump, or you will lose your job. That's what happened to Marty Schottenheimer. There's been other coaches that have been here and just haven't been able to do it. And then as a result, regardless of how well they've done in the regular season and make it to the playoffs, because of this continuous habit, they end up losing their job.
Right.
So my thing is, are you concerned about him not figuring it out?
Chris Sims has a saying that he uses all the time that I enjoy. Excuse my language. He says, "Shit or get off the pot." Like, do it or roll out. Pretty much, if you can't get it done, let's find somebody who can.
So if this year, my question is,
my fear is like it's also the devil kind of thing, because
grass isn't always greener.
Who are we gonna go get?
Yeah.
Who are we gonna go get?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. Who are we gonna go get? And he's a very stubborn coach, which is good, but can also be very bad.
Yeah.
It's good in the sense that he believes in you, he trusts in you, he pushes you. I remember last season, before the season started, 2024 season, he goes, "We are trying to let the world pretty much see that, or we're trying to show the world that Lamar Jackson has the potential to be the greatest quarterback ever in the NFL."
I think
and
does.
we're all like,
calm
down, hops, calm down. But last year we're like, oh, he might be.
Yeah.
And then he picks up right where he started off, and I'm impressed with it. Very impressed.
Absolutely.
I would say, I do have to mention, I'm not superstitious. I might be a little stitious. Shout out to Michael Scott from The Office.
Yeah.
But it was all going well until Lamar shoved that Red Devil fan in the red jersey.
Oh, yeah.
And then it all went down from there. So, I don't know. But,
Shout out to that fan.
Anyway, so any other question from either of you about this?
No, I just wanted to know how what you felt, your temperature about that.
Oh, emotionally or analytically?
The intangible part, like, because that's important. That's very important for a fan, and then also in the locker room. Like, we all know the team is good. We all know the team is good enough to win it all. Like, they're primed. But that intangible, where do they stand as far as, like, can they get over the hump when it's clutch? Like, the last couple of years, they haven't been able to do that. Mm-hmm. This year, it started off just like last year with the Chiefs. Like, when it's time, like, they just haven't been able to do it. So what does that do to the psyche of the fan and then the player? Mm-hmm. And then, like, is it time to change the coach if it doesn't work this year?
Right.
Those are things that, like,
I would say this. I can't speak for the players because I'm not a player. I never played, but they don't know how they feel. But as a fan, you're definitely at home like, oh boy, is it happening again?
Yeah.
Anytime you feel that sense, like when Derrick Henry fumbled, I definitely felt that. Felt that, oh boy, is it happening again feeling. Right. But I would say this though, and I say this almost every episode: die on your sword. Do the thing 100%. That brought you here. Yeah. The thing that got you here, keep doing that. Yeah. Don't try to switch it up. And the league has figured us out in a sense that when the Ravens get tight, they run Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
That's the thing, which is not a bad thing if it's successful. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Don't try to overthink it, big brain it. Don't try 100%. To overanalyze, because when the Bills realized that the game was getting out of hand, they just went to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do at the line. You want to throw it, throw it. You want to run it. You do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. Yeah. They gave him the freedom. If Josh Allen could have thrown 4 picks in the fourth quarter, and we'll be having a different conversation right now, but they went to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You took the ball away from Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was unstoppable.
Absolutely.
He, like, nobody could stop him on that offense. Yes, he fumbled, but he's still Derrick Henry.
He's still, bruh.
Lamar Jackson was unstoppable. Lamar Jackson was throwing the ball where it needed to be every time. When he run, he was killing them. Yeah. His offensive line was missing blocks left and right, and he was still these guys came with that mentality of we are going to break these guys in half, and you took that away from them. I said a similar thing last year when Sean Payton, the Denver Broncos head coach, they had a chance to go for 2 to win the game against Cincinnati after his rookie quarterback had just had an unbelievable drive, and he pulled him and kicked for 1 to tie the game, and they ended up losing that game. Yeah. But I was like, this is how you inject juice into a player. Yeah. Give him that opportunity. Even if he misses, you are still where you ended up being, which is you lost. Yeah. But fill him with that confidence. Don't take it away from him. And I feel like that's what they did. And the thing is, when you've been there so many times and you failed, you start to second guess yourself. That's just human nature. And that's where John Harbaugh and the Ravens are. So they need a slew of wins. We have a gauntlet of games, a ridiculous 5-week spread in front of us, 4-week spread in front of us. He needs to go 4-0, 3-1 at worst, and that loss has to be one of those. We almost had it, and then that, they have to look like a machine that is ready to take it on. Because Mahomes is licking his chops right now. He's like, they get tight when this happens. Cool. Aaron Rodgers is licking his chops right now. Joe Burrow is licking his chops right now. They're all like, these guys, they can be got. They can be got. And the way Josh Allen beat you is exactly how all these quarterbacks play. So you are in for more of this. Yeah. And he's given him the blueprint. That is my concern. That's why I feel like this game was a need to win. And how it started, it should not have ended with a loss. Yeah. That breaks your soul in a little bit. Anyway, Dan Solioquine, African player of the week for the Baltimore Ravens, Nnamdi Madubuike. He had a sack, the only sack against Josh Allen. Yeah. And we were moving, and it was unbelievable. So shout out to him, and shout out to the Ravens, and shout out to the Colts. It was still a great week one. Unbelievable slew of games. Very exciting time. I want to talk about the African player of the week for the entire NFL.
Week one.
Week one. And I'm going with former Ohio State Buckeye, first round pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Emeka Egbuka. Yeah. Emeka Egbuka was unbelievable in college. We knew he was going to be unbelievable in the NFL. And he got to a team with a leader in the wide receiver room in Mike Evans, and a quarterback who is not afraid to throw the ball in Baker Mayfield. I never know if I've said this. Baker Mayfield is my favorite quarterback to watch.
You did say
he is.
You said it off camera a few times.
Good or bad, Baker is going to be an exciting watch.
Yeah.
And what I found out was that.
Just pause.
Yes.
Your favorite.
To watch. Yes, 100%. He said that a few times.
No. We know who your favorite is.
No.
We know his favorite.
No. Lamar Jackson's not my favorite to watch. I hate watching the Ravens. I say this all the time.
Because he gets too emotional.
It's very frustrating for me to watch.
It's his favorite quarterback, but he gets too emotional.
I watch the Ravens highlights after they win, and it's exciting. But during the game, it's nail-biting. But when I'm relaxed and watching the game with a beer and just like, Baker. Baker is fun because
he's actually said this a few times.
I love watching Baker Mayfield play. Since Oklahoma, I've loved watching Baker.
I've never heard someone say they like watching Baker.
It's very interesting, but he does.
Right.
He
Lamar,
is fun to watch though. But favorite is
this is the thing. Lamar, I'm invested emotionally, so it's a little harder. Lamar, I'm invested emotionally, it's a little harder. But Baker is just like, whoa, look at this fun stuff. Since Cleveland, I've loved Baker. Anyway. As I was saying, what I found out later was Mike Evans actually said this.
I was just about to say that.
Emeka Egbuka called his shot.
Called the game when
they went to the huddle. Baker called the play and he told him, I'm running a post. I'm going to beat this DB. Let it fly.
Yeah.
And Baker did. And on a rookie, on his first game.
On top tier,
yeah. We're going to be talking about him a lot.
I think
African Player of the Week.
I think so. I think he's going to be at least an honorable mention every week.
Every week. He's going to be a problem. So that was exciting to watch. And I can't wait to see more of Emeka Egbuka. Yeah. And so week 2, anything you're looking forward to in week 2?
Yeah, just more so getting the litmus test for the Colts. We play a dominant defense. We play the Broncos. They played one of our division teams last week. I think they
Tennessee.
They didn't. Their quarterback didn't look good. Tennessee could have won that game. Unfortunately for Cam Ward, his receivers failed him in the clutch. They dropped quite a few passes. But Bo Nix looked very erratic, but their defense.
Oh yeah, Nick Bonito is earning that new contract.
I think Cam Ward was sacked like 8 times.
Oh yeah,
they were in his face. It was 6.
But yeah, he got 5 or 6. But he got.
I think it was like 6 times. It was bad. It was bad. But yeah, so we play them next week. So that should be a better litmus test. Overall, like we had. Two teams winning our division, us and the Jags, and then 2 teams that lost, Texans and then Tennessee. But like I think the team that has actually still been the most impressive outside of us to me is still the Texans because they should have won that game.
Yeah,
against the Rams.
Yeah, the Texans look good.
They still just look lost. Good. Yeah, they just lost.
I'm not worried about the Texans.
The Jags won big, but a lot of it was because
they were Bryce Young Carolina.
Bryce Young was so bad.
He went back to the Bryce Young from earlier last season.
It was bad. It was very bad.
But that also means that he can pick it up again because we've seen him do it. So hopefully they don't bench him and he gets to pick it up. That division, it's not so wide open, but after seeing Penix,
So. Yeah, it's gonna be between the Bucs and then the Falcons in that division.
I think.
So that it's
Anyways, that's what you're looking forward to with too.
See how that goes.
I'm looking forward to our defense coming back alive against the Browns. That might not be saying much because it's the Browns. They'll shoot themselves in the foot maybe.
Somehow,
but it's also Flacco. He's coming back. This is his first game back in M&T since he left.
Really?
So he's coming there.
So when he was with them,
he never made it to M&T.
Okay.
They got either he got hurt when they came or they didn't come and we went to wherever he was. Yeah. So
I think he was on the Jets.
Yes, but we played them in
when he was with Cleveland.
Meadowlands.
Okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying. He hasn't been back to M&T. He hasn't been
days.
back home since he left. So that's going to be exciting.
So interesting.
Week 1, I said we're going to hunt Buffalo. We failed. Buffalo gave it to us. There's a saying, there's a joke, sorry for being long with it, but there's this joke I learned when I was a little kid about this man that went to Spain and he went to watch the bullfight. And after the bullfight, he was hungry. So he goes to a restaurant nearby to the bullfight. And then he's like, hey, give me your special. And they bring him a special. They open it and these 2 round things. He's like, whatever. He eats it. It's very delicious. So for the rest of the time he's there, every day he goes to the bullfight. Then he goes to the restaurant and has these 2 meatball looking things. And then, one day he goes and then he's like, yo, this thing is really good. What is this? And the guy goes, oh, it's called cojones. And he's like, cojones? And he's like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's the balls of the bull that was killed in the bullfight. And he's like, oh, that's disgusting. But it's like, yo, this thing tastes so good. What the hell? He keeps eating it. So on the last day before he leaves, he goes back and the cojones are a little smaller. But he eats it and goes, maybe it was a baby bull, whatever. And then when he finishes, the waiter comes and he's like, hey, why was the bull so small all this time? And then the waiter goes, Senor, the bulls does not always lose the bullfight. So yeah, the bull won the bullfight in our week 1 game in Buffalo, or the Buffalo won the Buffalo fight. And week 2, make Flacco flaccid. So let's see how it goes.
Essentially teabags.
Yeah, man. So let's stop Flacco and let the
make
defense
Flacco flaccid. That's
make
wild.
Flacco flaccid. Stick to the teabag. Flaccid.
I hope everyone's flaccid on the field. Let's just be clear here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks, Paul.
But anyway, I'm excited to see what they do in week 2. Okay. Last year, we started the same way where we lost at the very end of the game in week 1, and it carried over to week 2, and we lost to a team we're supposed to beat. And the NFL has given us the same script again. Yeah. So this time, something needs to change. We can't have the same beginning of the 0-2 losing to a team we should beat. We need to get it together. I'm excited to see us do that, and I believe that we can. I believe that we will. Mm-hmm. And over the season, it's going to be, as I said, it's going to be drama. It's going to be the NFL is an awesome reality show, and I look forward to seeing more games in week 2.
Absolutely.
Starting from Thursday. And football's back, baby.
All the way.
And this was episode 4, season 1, week 1 recap of the Winning Point podcast. And we're out.
Indiana Jones. Danny Daimler.